Alright, so what's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm going to be breaking down my GBPJPY trade. So it's all lit. This was my recovery trade because I got a couple of losses just in the past trade, but this is my recovery trade and it's all amazing. So we are about 50 pips in profits. So I'm going to be basically breaking how I actually came up with a trade and how it's all actually going, right? And there've been a lot of market manipulations, like you can see the real trade, but then all of a sudden it's going against. I'm like, yo, so let me show you some of the trades here, right? And we happen to share this same trade with the main Telegram channel, so make sure you join a free Telegram channel. Check the link in the description below. So we are going to slide into the analysis, okay? So be sure that you watch the analysis, and I know by the end of it all, you will have actually learned how I actually came up with the trade and how I caught this beautiful move. So let's slide into it. As you guys can see, we have the trade. We hit a take profit already, and this is how basically the trade went. So before I actually show you the breakdown for this trade, let me show you some real quick. So this signal, the trade was actually shared in a main Telegram channel. So please consider joining a free Telegram channel so you can actually be in position to catch these trades literally daily, right? So let me get into the breakdown and actually show you how I was able to come up with this trade, because this is the best way on how to come up with trades. Now, I've always emphasized that we should always trade with a trend, okay? We should always trade with a trend. Don't go against the trend, because if you try to go against the trend, you could possibly get stopped out, or you could fight a drawdown and all of a sudden get stopped out, So that's why I basically emphasize. So as we can see, this of course was a very good uptrend, and as you guys can see in here, this was a very wonderful uptrend. So I think I'd drawn some key levels some time back and they still hold. I had this key level here. I think we described this in some video in the past days, and then I had drawn my second level. In this case, I was considering the market's bouncing off this level and then this level with this wick here, right? So I was considering this wick. Sorry. Let me awesome this way around. So we had this rejection and then we had this rejection, right? Now, after getting that, so here's what of course I was looking at. Initially, of course, it's an uptrend, then we have some pullback and then a push. This one right here, let me illustrate clearly from here. You see it was a push, then a little pullback, a push, and then a pullback, and then a big push to the upside to break a previous high, right? And then now I was looking at my pullback, right? Now on seeing the pullback, of course I had this level here, right? As you guys understand, I had marked out this level and this level. Why? Because I saw some market rejection of that point. So I'd basically marked out those levels, and this is the same thing that actually happened. So on getting my pullback back to the key level, here's what I did. Now remember, when we are on H4, we are just looking for the overall trend most times. That's how I basically come up with the trades. I'm basically looking for the overall uptrend. What's happening, right? Because of course we know when it's a very good uptrend or push to the upside, this is what basically happens. You can see that it pushes up, then comes back, pushes up. So basically this is what happens. You can see that it pushes up, okay, to then pulls back, pushes up to break the previous high, pulls back, pushes up to break the previous, such a process. So this is the same thing. Either way, in this particular case, we would expect the market to push even up to this level, like to break this previous high. You guys understand? But when I looked at this move, it was about 175 pips, and that was so big for my target. I often catch up to around 50 pips and I'm out. I don't have to hold trades for a long time, right? Anyway, so that was my first look at this given trade. Now let's scale down to a smaller time frame. Of course, as you guys know, we often do scaling down. So we are now on H1. Now on H1 we can see what was basically happening. Now I'm going to kind of zoom out here and then show you guys some real quick. Now as you can see, we had this bottom, we had this level here. Okay, we had our first level again and the second level. We had marked out these levels already, right? And then I saw some sort of a small trend line. It was a small trend line just right here. Let me try to draw it just right here. Okay, there we go. Now on seeing this trend line, I saw let me try to adjust it clearly. So I had my first point here where I can see the market reached the trend line and bounced off. It again happened the second time, and then I was again waiting for my third touch, and this is the point here, right? So that's how we were actually able to come up with this trade. Anyways, let's keep going and then show you how I had to get the trade, because again, most times trades come to me personally, the confirmation comes at my smallest time frame, and that's always the 15 minutes time frame. So this is how we were basically looking at. So I said having the trend line where the markets were coming off, bouncing off, coming back, bouncing off, coming back and bouncing off. So I had my point here, and this was the real point on where to get a trade. So let's scale down to M15 and see how this worked out. Awesome, there we go. So as you guys can see, this is the position where the trend line was actually passing. We had a first rejection here, we had a second rejection here, and then we had a third rejection here. Now I think I've actually said this, that whenever we have a key level, it's also easy to get where to place a stop loss, right? Because if it's a key level, if it's broken, then the trade is against you, and then if it's not broken, that's your trade, right? So it's the same thing right here. So me recognizing my key level, I got my trade in here. Remember again, I often say that I get trades on pullbacks. I basically don't have to get into a trade when it's in a push phase. Entering a trade in a push phase is kind of trying to chase the trade, and the moment you try to chase the trade, you are going to possibly face a drawdown, because by the moment you enter trade, you could find it was in a push phase, and then when you've entered, it's now coming maybe for a pullback or maybe for a retest, and you're basically going to fight your emotions and playing around here and there, right? So that's the thing that I often emphasize. Get a trade at pullbacks, okay? Just like how you guys can see in here. You can see it was a beautiful pullback. There we go. And boom, we got in. Now, this stop loss was just about 20 pips, because I often find out on these pairs, most especially GBPUSD and then GBPJPY, even a small move is a bigger, you find it accounts for some good number of pips. So I knew if I placed my stop loss about 30 pips, that's also over risking to my side, as depending on how I actually manage my risk. So due to the fact that I had my key level marked out, I had to place my stop loss just below the key level, and it was just about 15 pips, about 20 pips, and the trade got straight into profits. The trade went straight into profits, and you can see it was a very wonderful push, and you can see it's still continuous. Like I said on the H4, it will possibly keep pushing until it breaks the previous high. Okay, so a quick recap in here. The main concept throughout is I often find the overall trend first, and then the second thing is I'm going to find out, are we breaking the previous higher highs, are we breaking the previous higher lows, just in case it's a downtrend, right? And then after that, I'm scaling down to a smaller time frame, let's say H1, and see if it's really still happening. And then after that, we just have to go to M15, where I often get my trades in, and it's time, right? This is how easy my concept is on getting these trades. I'm not choosing any indicators, I'm not choosing anything. It's all about the price action, identifying the overall market trend, because it's the main thing in here. The moment you go against the trend, you're going against the whole concept, and you could possibly find a few issues here and there. So if you guys really like the video, consider smashing the like button, and please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and join our free Telegram channel, and I will see you guys in another video.